Are you looking for a really generic, boring zombies experience that's still somehow better than Transit? Well, then look no further, because today we are talking about Bus Depot, Farm, and Town on Black Ops 2 Zombies, the 3 survival maps that all take place in the Transit locations. What's up, guys? Jerry at Podcast here. And yeah, today we're going over the 3 basic survival maps that launched with Black Ops 2 Zombies. I really should have put these at the end of the Transit video. I don't know why I saved them for their own video. I really could have just tacked them on at the end there. This Minisode probably won't be much. Well, probably won't be too long. I really don't have. There's not much to these maps, right? So there's not really that much to talk about. But they were fun. They were okay. You know, Bus Depot. Really quickly, I'll just give some initial thoughts. Bus Depot was not that great. Not having perks on it really sucks. Non-moving box is great though. Farm, it's just slightly bigger with perks and a non-moving box as well. And then there's Town. Town has the Pack-a-Punch. Town has perks, and it's the best of the 3. Not to spoil my ratings or anything, but it's definitely the best of the 3. Just having that Pack-a-Punch adds so much to the map, adds a couple layers. It's just fun to load in and survive with not having a bunch of shit to open up or anything to worry about there. No fogs, no denizens. Yeah, man, that's it. This is the intro real quick. Let's get into it, man. Let's fucking just get into it, because I really don't want to go on too long about these maps. I really can't bleed them dry for that long, you know what I mean? So let's do it, mate. So why don't we start off with the easy one, Bus Depot. There's literally no strategy or anything to this map. There's literally one door you have to buy. You buy the first door. I'll just tell you what I did and what I do. I buy the first door. I go right for the MP5 wall buy that. That is my points gun. Farm up a bunch of points, and then all you have to do in this map is literally just pray to the RNG gods that you get the ray gun Mark II, or monkey bombs, or, both. It's a shit map, dude. It's impossible without perks to survive. This is one I actually could not get to 20 on, and I gave up on it just because I didn't want to keep trying. I know it's possible. I know people high round it, but this map is just it's just not that fun, I don't want to waste all my time playing this map trying to get to 20 for some pointless stupid challenge where it's impossible because there's no Juggernog. You know what I mean? So that's just really it, man. There's like one camping spot if you go to the side of the Bus Depot next to that big ass lava pit. But if you get cornered, you're kind of fucked, so it's a risk. The best thing you can do is kind of just run around and dodge the zombies, even though it feels tight at times. That's just the map, man. It's hard, It's just a hard map, so it's just impossible, man. I kind of wish they would give like at least one perk, even if it was like a random perk every time. I still wouldn't buy Quick Revive because it's not part of the challenge. If you don't know it, and if this is your first time listening, my challenge is to do all the Treyarch Zombies maps at least 0 to 20 with no Quick Revive, just to kind of relive and replay the map and come back on them and just talk about my experience playing them, what they were like back in the day and whatnot. And these 3 maps, me and my buddies really didn't play these back in the day that much. We would get on the occasional Town game every now and then, but we were always on like Origins or Buried or something along those lines. These 3 maps just did not really do it, especially Bus Depot and Farm. They just weren't it, So let's just talk about some of my likes, right? You could literally turn your brain off and load into this map. You do not have to use a single brain cell whatsoever. All of this map comes through RNG and just basic navigation of the zombies in a small corridor, right? That's really it. I like the fact that the box doesn't move, right? There's no teddy bear, so you can just keep rolling the box forever. Another thing I actually really like is that the games usually aren't long on this map, Sometimes you get on zombies and it's a multiple hour experience, especially Cold War, right? But on this, man, it's no match is really longer than like a half hour, right? Because just surviving is just so fucking hard on this map, So I actually kind of like that, if you want to squeeze in a quick game of bare bones, no brain survival gameplay, then Bus Depot is the map for you, man. Let's go into my dislikes here then. It feels impossible to get high rounds. Like, yes, I know it's a skill issue. I know there's no perks. It's most definitely a skill issue. I'm just dog shit at this map. I just don't. I'm sure if I put the time in, I could go high rounds. But guys, who the fuck is gonna grind Bust Evo? You know what I mean? I just have no will to do that. So the box guns are dog shit. You know, you don't have perks in this map, right? So there's no double tap too. The box guns in this game compared to the box guns in Black Ops 1 are slightly better. I wouldn't say it's a vast improvement though. Double Tap 1 or Double Tap 2.0 definitely helps out with that. But yeah, you know, just trash box guns, especially on Bust Depot. You basically need the ray gun, which is another shitty thing. You need the ray gun or the ray gun Mark II to make this map work. Or if you want to have any chance at all, LMGs are good, right? Like they do good damage, but the reload time just fucks you on this map so hard, dude. Quite unfortunate. You know, I'm gonna have the same complaints on these maps as I do with Transit. You know, the fire zombies suck, especially on a map where you can't pick up Jug, right? So you got the fire zombies exploding next to you, doing some of your health. It's just not good, man. Lava in general sucks ass. But that's really it, man. That's all to say about Bust Depot. You know what I mean? Bust Depot is just, there's nothing to it. And same with Farm. Let's get into Farm, right? Let's fucking get into Farm. So for Farm, I pretty much just had the same exact strategy. I go for the MP5 wall buy first and use it as my points gun, and then I farm up enough points to get Galva Knuckles in this map, because you can actually get the Galva Knuckles in this map, which I believe they carry you to round 16, if I'm not mistaken. One of those teen rounds, like 15, 16, one of those. You can one-tap zombies up until then, and you have Juggernog, so it's safe. So I basically go for the MP5 first, I buy Jug second, buy Galva third, and then go for double tap 2, and then you basically just roll the box for whatever you want. I try to get like the ray gun Mark II, something like that, but honestly, every weapon is pretty viable on this map because you have the addition of the perks, right? You have the faster reload, you have the double tap 2.0. We didn't pick up quick revive like we never do, and that's really it, man. I think I made it to like 23 or something before I got. Yeah, I have here in my notes. I got to 23 before I just was fucking around. I ended up getting stuck on a barrel and got cornered and get fucked over. But I mean, that's the thing with these old maps. You know, there's no really reason to try so hard on them unless you're having a fun time. I'd rather just play something else though. So I don't like to waste too much time on these zombies maps, unfortunately, because there's just no incentive to play them. You know what I mean? But let's just say there's a couple things I like about this map. It's got a simple, easy layout, you know, just like Bust Depot. Is it the same size? It might be even smaller now that I think of it. There's a whole upstairs to the farm and the upstairs to the house. It's probably slightly bigger than Bust Depot. It's got the 4 OG perks, double tap 2.0s in this game, which is very, very good. Non-moving box, just like Bust Depot. I don't believe the one in town moves either, if I'm not mistaken. But, and then this one has Galva Knuckles too, which is awesome. You know, we don't see Galva Knuckles too often. They're in a couple of the early zombies maps on Black Ops 2. But yeah, this is a cool addition, man. You know, same dislikes as Bust Depot, fire zombies exploding, fire on the ground, lava, you know, no pack-a-punch on this one, which sucks. No unique wonder weapon, which sucks. Shitty box guns, except they're more manageable with double tap 2.0. And this is arguably the worst part of Transit in its entirety, right? I really never cared for Farm that much. Even when I'm playing Transit, like with my friends normally, I would only ever come here to get, you know, what was here? What's even here on Transit, bro? I can't even remember. The lockers here, or the fridge is here to get your stored weapon, right? And then I think there's a perk here. I think double tap is here maybe, so I have to stop and get that too. But honestly, this is the worst section of the map, man. So I guess that's all I'll really say for Farm. You know, if it seems like I'm flying through this, I kind of just am, because you know what I mean? I can't say that much about these maps just because there's not really that much to them. Again, I probably should have tacked this onto Transit at the end just to talk about them, because it's obviously the same map. Maybe I'll get into the talk about survival and why this never happened on any of the other maps. It only happened on Transit, which is weird, because if you're looking at the map, right? If you're looking at the map, choosing which map to play, and it brings up the world screen in Black Ops 2. You click on Green Run or whatever, right? And you can choose between Transit and the 3 other survival maps, and then they eventually added Turned. I guess I should bring up Turned in this. I'll talk about Turned at the end, but yeah, there's survival maps in Green Run, so you kind of go into Black Ops 2 in the DLC seasons thinking, oh, okay, we're going to get small survival maps of the other maps that eventually come out, and then it just never happened, which was weird. I don't know if they maybe planned to do it and then just stopped development on that and went somewhere else or did something else with that time they were going to do, or it was too hard to code, or they just didn't have the time and they had to rush the game out or something like that. But I don't know. I just thought it was weird that they never really did this with any other map. Granted, Transit is probably the biggest zombies map. Is Transit bigger than Origins? It might be. It might be. But yeah, I just found it weird that they didn't do small survival maps of any other maps on Black Ops 2, you know? Just some food for thought, you know? Oh, I forgot to do my rating. I'll do all the ratings at the end. Let's move on to Town, shall we? So Town is the best of the 3 survival maps that we have to offer. And I would even go as far as to say Town is a good map, you know? I still wouldn't prefer to play it over. I would prefer to play it over Transit for sure, but that's the only zombies map I think I would ever prefer to play this over, and maybe like Shino Numa. But I mean, when we do the tier list at the very end of this series, we'll see where this ranks. But yeah, I like Town, man. You know, you got the same problems you do with the other maps in Transit, where, you know, fire zombies exploding, lava on the ground. You know, don't have to. I keep going into it, but you know, it is what it is. So what I did for this run. I just, you know, classic MP5 wallbot into Jug. And then I like to get stamina up on this map because it's in town here. So that's pretty cool. I go into PAP on the MP5. I go right into the Pack-a-Punch on the MP5 because why not, right? MP5 has been my favorite gun forever, dude. I love the MP5 since COD 4, and I really fell in love with it too, dude. The reason I fell in love with it is because in COD 4, like way back during Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, I used to love the way it sounds suppressed, bro. Like, it sounded so sick. It's just become my favorite, like, real gun of all time, dude. I love the MP5. Always, whenever it's in Call of Duty, I always pick it up. Always try to go for the gold camo or whatever. Not in the newer games because I just don't play the new ones because they're shitty. But yeah, that's what I go for. So I basically, what'd I say? Okay, I Pack-a-Punch the MP5, I go into Double Tap, then I go into Speed Cola, and then I got the hammer on this run, the LMG hammer, so then I pack that too. And then what my strategy on this map was just camping on top of the Quick Revive building, right? The building where Quick Revive's in. You can just camp at the very end of the ledge there or the broken part of the building, and the zombies won't jump up to you, which is rare because, you know, usually when there's an area like this, the zombies will actually jump up at you, depending on the map too, but they don't on this map. So you can just keep farming them as they spawn, and then when things get too fucked up, you can just jump down and then run away. Pretty fun gameplay loop. And then I run to the other building that has Jug across the way. That's like kitty corner. And I do the same thing. Just keep farming them and then fall when it gets hairy. But that's really it, man. Just rinse, repeat. Pretty fun. I can't remember what I got to. I didn't write it down in my notes here, but I think I got to like 25 or 26 or 27 or something like that before I got bored and then just killed myself eventually, like I always do on this map, or just on old zombies in general, because, you know, it just feels like I just wish there was a bigger reward for playing zombies. You know what I mean? It just feels like you're putting so much time into something that's just not going to be worth it. But I guess that's what video games are in general. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm just weird about it. I like that the stamina ups in this map, you know. We got the 4 OG perks plus stamina up. Double Tap 2 is very good on this map. We get the Pack-a-Punch on this survival map, right? So that's a huge plus. If you want to experiment with a bunch of Pack-a-Punch weapons, this is the map to do it, you know, because it's very easy to do. And it's not cheap. There's like 2 or 3 doors you have to open total, so it's not too bad. Very manageable. There's more room to run around this map than farm and bus depot, so that's nice. It really feels like there's multiple like viable strategies, I guess, here. You know, as compared to like farm or bus depot. I mean, they all have the same fucking strategy at the end of the day, which is just to run around and survive. But I guess I feel like it's more possible on town, obviously, because there's a lot more room to work with. Semtex are on this map, right? Which is like, okay, I guess I don't really use them ever. I just feel like grenades really aren't good until like Cold War, right? Maybe they are in Black Ops 4. I didn't play too much Black Ops 4 zombies, so it'll be interesting to get to way down in the series down the line. But yeah, man, that's fun, I guess. Semtex are cool. This map has a moving box. And it's like, why, right? So I guess we'll talk about some things I hate. Moving box on town. Like, why does the box move on this map? Like, yes, you're confined to one area, so it's not the end of the world. But what I actually liked about Bus Depot and Farm is you could leave a crawler and then just keep spinning the box till you're content with whatever comes out of it, right? I guess I just like that much more. And that's why I like Buried, too, because you can have Leroy lock the box down and make sure it doesn't move, which is cool. But yeah, man, that's really it. Moving box, small survival map, no quest, not much to explore, but I know that's the gimmick of the map, so it's not really that bad. Classic lava, classic fire zombies exploding sucks. Box guns are shitty and kind of boring at this point. No cool, unique wonder weapon. Just classic transit complaints, you know what I mean? So it is what it is. I guess let's rate them now. I talked about all three of them, and it's been 15 minutes. This is definitely going to be one of the shorter minisodes, but it should be. You know what I mean? This thing should not be too fucking long. It's just like I can't imagine being the person that clicks on this video and wants to hear about the small survival maps. It's going to be me in the future. It's going to be me way in the future when I go back and listen to all this, because that's what I'm doing it for. If you don't know, if you're hearing this and you're not me, thanks for listening, man. But yeah, I'm really doing this for me in the future to go back and listen to when I have severe dementia and I get to experience all this shit again. It'll be cool for that. So yeah, I guess there's not really much else to say about town. You know what I mean? It's just I had some good memories with some good friends on this map. But that's really it, man. Let's just fucking get into the ratings. All right, let's do it, man. Let's get into the ratings here. So I honestly forgot to talk about Turned, so I'm going back and recording this. But if you don't know what Turned is, they added this game mode with one of the map packs where you can play as a zombie, right? You play as zombies and you hunt like a single human. I honestly played this for the achievements back in the day, but I'm telling you, it's not very good. We all thought it was going to be like Left 4 Dead or something in Call of Duty Zombies, but dude, it only takes place on the shitty transit maps. That's the worst part of it. Like, maybe if it was on other maps, sure, but honestly, I'm not even going to get into it. I'm not going to get into it. Honestly, I would just say look it up. Look it up on YouTube. Look up gameplay on YouTube. I only played it back in the day to get the achievements, like I said, but this game, it's just not fun, you know? It was a cool gimmick that they tried. Maybe they can innovate on this in the future and make it something cool, but I don't know. I didn't really care for it, guys. You can just look it up if you want to, but yeah, So I actually just went on the wiki, and I guess Turned, it took place on multiple maps, including Buried and maybe even Mob of the Dead. But guys, I forgot to talk about Grief. Dude, Grief was actually very interesting, and I'm very surprised they never brought anything like this back ever again, you know? So Grief is a 4v4 mode. Well, it can start with 2, but it can go from 2 to 8 players. And it was a team of 4 typically against another team of 4 in zombies. And you can either work against or with the enemy team to survive. And it was so cool, man. Like, I'm really surprised they never did a PvP zombies thing like this ever again. I would really, really love to see something like this come back, dude. Like imagine a PvP zombies game nowadays, dude. Like, just working with your team to defeat the other team or to survive longer. Like, that's just such a cool concept, man. I'm really surprised they never explored it further. I guess I was looking here. It was maybe going to be in Black Ops 4, but then they decided to scrap it or something. But man, I didn't play this that often back in the day, but I do remember enjoying it a lot. And now that I look back on it, it's such a cool concept. You know, I really wish they would have done more with this, or put it on bigger maps too, right? Because this Grief, unfortunately, was only on the smaller survival maps. I do believe Grief never took place on the bigger maps. Roast me if I'm mistaken there, but I'm pretty sure that's how it was. But yeah, man, this is such a cool concept. I'm sorry for being repetitive, but like, dude, I really want something like this to be a thing because this would be so cool to play. Just this would be a cool multiplayer game to just hop into when you're bored, just to try to make something happen or do. I don't even know what I'm saying at this point, but it would just be cool to see, man. I really wish Grief would return. Cool concept, but yeah, I'm just shoehorning this into the end of the video here. Sorry, I completely forgot to talk about these, but I don't want the video to be too long, so that's it. We'll move on to the ratings now. Sorry. All right, so for my ratings, I have my ratings here in my notes. I rated Bus Depot a D tier map, and then I wrote next to it, could be C if they gave you better weapons to balance out No Jug, which I actually do believe, man. I feel like, okay, if you're not going to give us perks, give us like overpowered weapons, right? Because the 2-hit down is like a lot harder to survive with than you might think it is, right? I mean, granted, you probably don't think it's that easy to survive with 2-hit and No Jug, but man, it would be cool if they gave us some better weapons to, balance out the map a little more, I guess. So yeah, we're throwing it in D tier. It's definitely going to go above Transit because it's not Transit, right? But yeah, still not a great map. Still very annoying to play. Still very frustrating to play. So it's going to go in the D tier, 6 out of 10 map. And then Farm, I also threw in the D tier, but for some reason I wrote 5 out of 10. For some reason I rated Town or Farm lower than Bus Depot, which I guess, let me think about it. Which one do I like more? I guess I'd probably like Farm more, so I don't know why I would write 5 out of 10. Still a D tier map though, in my opinion. Maybe I'll knock it up to C. I don't know. I'll have to compare it with all the rest of the Zombies maps at the end, but it's just not that fun, guys. There's just better. Like, I'm trying to think of it like this, right? If you load up Black Ops 2, you have all the map packs, right? Are you going to go for Town? Or, I'm sorry, Farm? Are you going to go for Farm or Bus Depot, right? With all the maps, all the big hitters like Origins, Buried, Mob of the Dead? You're not going to load this map up. So that's a D tier, man. It's deserving of a D tier. 5 out of 10. I guess I don't know that out of 10. I don't know if the out of 10 is a good way to rate them, but whatever, man. So those first two are D tiers. And then Town I actually threw in the B tier, man. And then I wrote offers a fun challenge, which it does, man. The fact that you have the Pack-a-Punch is a huge plus. If you had Pack-a-Punch on the other maps, dude, that's what they should have did with Bus Depot. They should have put a Pack-a-Punch on it with no perks. I feel like that would have been a lot more unique and fun, but I get what they were going for. It's the basic you have nothing, load in and survive type map that they wanted. That's what this is. This is supposed to be Nocturne Toten, I guess, for Black Ops 2 would be my opinion, right? Because they put Noct in Black Ops 1 at the end. So that was like the bare bones survival. The original Noct was the bare bones survival of World at War. So I guess this is like the original bare bones survival of Black Ops 2 that they wanted to go for. So, that it is what it is. I just don't think this map stands as tall as Nocturne Toten does personally. But that's it, man. Town, that's Bus Depot. Town is a B tier map. Offers a good challenge. I wrote 7 out of 10, but I think that's pretty fair. It's got just about everything you'd want. It's just not big. You're confined to the one space. That's really it, man. That's all I really have to say here. So I don't think I'm going to talk about. I might just do the outro here. So yeah, I really. This one could be a shorter video. It feels like I'm kind of flying through it as I'm listening to myself talk. Whatever. We're still going to upload it. We'll see. We'll review it. We'll see how it is then. But yeah, man. Thanks for listening. If you're hearing this, let me know what I could do better in the comments. Call me a gay retarded faggot in the comments. Call me names. Call me whatever you want. Tell me if you want to see it or listen to something. Tell me your favorite game, man. Just let me know what you want to hear next, or if there's a game that you want me to talk about, just let me know if you're hearing this. It'd be cool, man. But yeah, that's it. I'm not gonna talk about what I'm playing. I'm gonna record another podcast. I'll probably do Nuketown next. Just because we're close to catching up to Mob of the Dead, and I want to be able to play these at the same time and then talk about them within a couple days, so it's more fresh in my mind. But I just felt like I could rattle off on these 3 survival maps here because there's not much to talk about. So this is gonna be a real small minisode compared to the rest of the roster here. But yeah, man, that's it. Thanks for listening, guys. Jerry at Podcast is out of here. Okay, we're taking off. So take care.